My name is Tim Good, and I'm going to give a short 45-minute presentation regarding mastering your plans. And that includes organizing your actions, that includes organizing your information, and that includes organizing your ideas. Because right here in Mindvalley we're getting amazing ideas, but how do we actually structure them and embody all of that pieces of information? So the question is, who has a very full inbox with mails? Like 50%, 60%? What if you truly have an inbox full with 0 mails? Fully free, fully present. Because the thing is, whenever you're having an email, then your subconscious is like, is there something that I missed? Is there something underneath all of this? And that creates a feeling of overwhelm, that creates an unease. What if you can actually be so fully present that it will calm your system down and you can be fully here? Basically, an inbox is the communication platform where other people tend to put tasks upon you. Because other people can organize, other people can mail something towards you and give you tasks. But if you're fully present and fully in control over your mailbox, in your WhatsApps, in all of those things, you can be fully present. We do that based on action management, and that's based on the Getting Things Done system. And we organize our actions into 5 categories. So that means that you are in full control over your actions. So what a lot of people have the tendency to do is to organize their actions based on time management. In the morning I'm going to do that task, in the afternoon I'm going to do that task, in the evening I'm going to do that task. One of the issues that you're facing because of that is your calendar will basically be your prison, your prison God. As in, you have to be within that space between 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and actually being captured. What if you have your calendar set up with only, for example, this moment in time is an action. You have to be present within this action. At least you chose to be there. You don't have to be there, but you chose to. So this is the only thing that's in your calendar. And beside that, we have 4 other categories, as in next action, Sunday action, maybe action, and waiting for action. And you organize all of your tasks based on the function of the action itself. So that will make you in full control over your actions, basically. And that's based on the Getting Things Done method of David AIIM. It's a well-known speaker within the productivity world. And it will actually help you to line up all of your actions into your purest purpose, your truest form. So whenever you want to build your company with your project, with your knowledge, you can actually organize your actions in such a way that your project keeps moving forward. So that's one of the 3 pillars that I'm kind of speaking about. So that's the action management, focusing on being in control of actions and not being in control of your time. Because we can't really control time anymore. The only thing that's present is the here and the now, what we are doing. So that's the first bit. The second pillar is organizing your information. Right now we're getting a lot of feedback, a lot of information based on Mindvalley, a lot of qualities actually being collected. But what exactly to do with all of that information? We have been taught in school, or at least I have been, to organize your information based on subjects. This is math, this is science, this is biology, this is different kind of things. And as grown-ups, as adults, we kind of kept track of that idea, as in this is marketing, this is networking, this is could be anything. But you're kind of filtering out your pieces of information based on the talk or based on the subject itself. But the thing is, what if you organize your information based on your goal? What do you want to achieve with the piece of information? So actually think about every time that you're receiving a piece of information from Mindvalley, this little piece of information, what do I want to achieve with it? And add that piece of information within your project. This is a nice alignment with the 12 areas, so the life blueprint, what Mindvalley often teaches, is having 12 areas, and within that area you have a project, as in health, and within that is the project running the marathon. But your pieces of information, for example, biohacking, how to actually learn that, is active within that project. So you're going to use that to achieve your goal. You're not just going to put it on health and not actually looking at it in the future. So organizing your information based on the goal is a very useful thing, because then everything will be traceable. So that's the second pillar. I'll go quite rapidly through my notes. So we'll have some time for practical questions and ideas and stuff that we're truly working towards to give you value. The third pillar is idea management or insight management. What we have been taught in the past is start with a subject, with a hypothesis, as in how to make bread. Something in school, how to make bread. So you first start with asking the question, then you start researching the information how bread is made, basically. And then you start building your white paper with your piece of information. But what if we turn that around? What if we, instead of top down, we can actually start with bottom up? Start with whatever piece of information you're gathering within Mindvalley, and you're like, wow, this was a nice insight. This kind of shifts my world. Now I understand the world better. And you write that idea down in a separate piece of paper or digitally. Nowadays we can do that digitally. But having an idea, one separate idea in one note, will create that you can have different kind of nodes, and you start to connect different insights. So whenever you have an insight regarding NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, for those who don't know it, but you also have an idea regarding eye patterns. You also have an idea regarding Jim Quick's lying pattern, and how that's not focused. So those are separate ideas, but they're kind of connected. And whenever you think about NLP, you can kind of connect that towards another insight and another insight and another insight. So whenever you grow your knowledge base, so this is basically a personal Wikipedia that you're creating, it will give you your external brain. So every piece of information, everything that you're gathering, is an add-on about clarification of your own mind. And doing that, it will reduce your scariness in your brain, because a lot of people have the tendency of trying to remember everything and try to integrate it, but how to actually embody information, how to learn it, how to know it, and actually living it day by day, hour by hour. And that will truly make you present in the current moment. I've been doing this now for about 18 months, 2 months. Because basically I'm an electrical engineer by education. I'm not doing that anymore because I'm doing these kind of presentations. But I felt so overwhelmed by all of the emails and all of the calls that I was receiving and all of the... I really didn't know what to do. And it created stress, and it created me being unhealthy, and it created me being annoyed to the world. basically feeling kind of stuck in the, I have to do that. I'm not really enjoying my moment. I'm not enjoying my Sunday because Monday was coming up. I really needed to call that client. I really didn't know what was happening. So that's why I started researching in all the different subjects regarding getting things done. Para. So getting things done is the action management. Para is the information management. So focusing your information on the goal. And the third one is Zettelkasten. It's a German word. That's the Zettelkasten. Zettel, Kasten. So big box. Big box. Zettel. Yes, Zettel. Yeah, in German you pronounce the Z a little bit different than with the Dutch. But that made me very skillful, basically. I've learned how to actually integrate information. I'm not that highly educated in German. Well, I'm kidding. You can actually learn yourself how to learn faster. You can actually clear your brain to be fully present in the here and the now. Right now with a lot of meditation practices, we're being asked to actually calm our brain down and actually be in the moment here right now. How to actually do that when you're kind of stressed about the things that are still piling up in your head. One of the things that I want to give as value, as ideas, is create yourself a brain map. Create yourself one piece of information, one centralized collection idea. So that could be a paper, that could be a concept only yourself, that could be the note block that you're writing upon. But actually, every piece of information that resonates with you, write it down. Collect it, and having that as a starting point. And from that point on, move forward towards your agenda, your actions, your information, your idea management. So having that centralized starting point will make sure that you can be fully here in the present right now. And process that piece of information that pops once a day or once a week. With actually, what kind of people did I speak with this week? What kind of ideas did I have? What kind of insights did I actually create? What kind of pictures that we all made from the presentations, as in, oh, the beautiful QR codes, but what did we actually do about it? So collecting that idea and processing that towards the next one is a great step. And the thing is, also a little bit regarding the atomic habits of James Clear, move slowly. Be 1% better tomorrow than you are today. Just capturing information, capturing the first step. And from that point on, okay, what kind of information can I do better tomorrow? And tomorrow a little bit more. Because you'll increase that 1%, 1%. And within 80 years, it's a little bit too long. Within 1 year, because of compound interest, you'll be almost 38 times better in comparison to that starting point. Because it's 1%, 1%. That will happen. So you can do that with your knowledge, with your explanation, with your control, and every time that you're speaking with someone and you're actually listening to insights, what can I learn from the other person to add on my digital knowledge system, my own Wikipedia. And that will create that you're very skilled, present, and you can actually learn and go deeper with someone in the conversation. I went through this quite rapidly, so are there questions?
You mentioned information management, PARA.
PARA stands for Projects, Area, Resources and Archive. And areas is something similar as within the 12 areas of life book, and actually having the spheres of life: finance, career, spirituality, family. I don't remember all 12 of them. So that's the spheres of life. They will never be completed. Health will never be completed. You'll always have health. Yes. Until you don't, but you don't have to worry about it anymore. And so that's the A between para. And the project is 2 or more actions to complete a certain goal. So when running a marathon that's the project, that's the smart defined goal. And within that you have a couple of actions. So you organize all of your actions to create that project. Building a business. What do you actually need to do that? Get your finance ready, get college ready, get clients, get your income. All of these lines actually are add-ons for your information flow to create that project. That's smart defined. So that's the project part. And then we have the resources part. Piece of information that you're collecting, for example, from Mindvalley. Where can I use this for? What kind of resources can I connect towards your archive or towards your project? It could be that piece of information is only valid for that project. It could be that it's interesting for the whole area, for health or for specifically running marathons. So organizing that in such a way will make it very structured, basically. And then the fourth one is archive. Whenever you're finished with a project, well, an area, you don't finish actually with an area, but when you finish with a project yourself, or a piece of resources that you don't actually need anymore, you can move that towards area, and then you keep your list full. Because having an organized system will make your nervous system actually calm down. It will make you more interested, more than now, more healthy to be honest, more happy. But I
Any practical ideas on what you call brain dump? What to use there to not to get too specific? I know people sometimes use Notion. And last year we had a presentation by a young German guy, Lucas, and he was so into Notion. He organized his whole life with everything. That was overwhelming for me. So something simple to do it on the go.
What I personally do is I have a group WhatsApp with only myself. Within WhatsApp or within Telegram. Me personally WhatsApp because in the Netherlands we can only WhatsApp. And how do you do that? You actually make a group WhatsApp with one other person and then throw the other person out of the group. And then actually calling and pinning up and pinning it up fully the first one, pinning it down basically. Because every time that you have a new interaction, new idea, or a new screenshot or a new picture, add that in that window. Then you'll have your timestamp, then you'll have your date, you can also add the location from that. Or with pictures, you can't do that with time. But collecting it there, and whenever it gets processed into your calendar, for example, or into your piece of information, into your Notion, into your Dropbox, whatever, actually delete that message within your group chat. Because then your group chat will actually become clear. And that makes sure that you don't actually forget it. Well, practically you will. But you'll get better and better in the process. So that's the practical.
Very nice idea, but then organizing further on. What are you going to use? Sorry.
Yeah, no,
That's a good question.
it's very wise, and I can go a little bit deeper into that. Myself, I use Notion as well, but just as a software program. You can do this with Google Calendar as well. Make it as easy as possible. That's the goal. First, actually understanding the method behind this. How do you actually streamline pieces of information? Whenever something comes in, it's either a piece of information or it's a task. That's the split you can do right away. the task can be filled within those 5 lists. Time bound, so that's the calendar. Next action Sunday, maybe, or a week before. I can go a little bit deeper into those 5. But organizing your actions in the function itself, as in how are you treating this next action? So that's one. And the other one can be as simple as actually well, that might be a little bit too tricky to actually do that here, but organizing your information, you can actually do that within Colors. You can do that within your file system. Understanding the Paga system, as in organizing them, compares to your goal. Make a folder, your goal is to run a marathon. Or you need pieces of information, doc, messages, Excel files, training programs, contact information for the company. You can do that quite simply, quite easy within that folder. But the thing is, don't focus yourself on the software, but focus yourself on the methods behind it. Understanding how your workflow goes. You can do that with everything. You can do that with this, you can do that with paper.
And the goal would be the project.
Sorry?
The goal would be the project.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Can you repeat those 5 things again? The Sunday, maybe?
Yeah, the 5 actions is, one of them is the time bound action.
Balance?
Time bound.
Balance.
Yeah. So my example was this meeting between 12:30 and 1:15. It is an action of you being here and listening to me. That's an action. It is within that certain time frame, but only having your calendar, only having holds, only those time frames of actually when you actually have to do something. So that's the first one. The second one is next actions. And next actions are things that you can do right now. Calling the client, making him an offer, making a payment for the bill for the dentist, all kind of random things. Actually actions that you can do right now in this moment. If you have 10 minutes, 15 minutes during your call, just go through your next actions lists. As in, what can I do right now? What I feel like doing. It will create so much freedom when you have like 12 of them. You're like, I don't really feel like anything deep work or, well, businessy, but you're like, oh, let's do something creative. And that's because that's in your next action that you can actually choose one of those options. You can actually add, especially when you work with Excel or something like that, add a deadline on it. So that will mean if you don't have a deadline on your next actions, and your sub actions, we will come back to that, and you don't have a time frame within your time bound actions, and you're feeling free here and now, then you can choose not to feel overwhelmed. That's, then you can truly be, I don't have anything next month. Let's just play, let's just be here. That's really massive change. So that's the second one. The third one is your Sunday action. Your next action, by the way, are things that you have to do. Your Sunday actions are also things that you have to do. It might be if you have a project and there are a couple of next actions that you have to do. And further on, there are Sunday actions that those have to be done, but you can't for whatever reason. There is some limiting factor. You don't have the funds yet. You don't have the approval yet of your boss, or your employee doesn't work with you for whatever reason. But there are actions that you can actually that you know that has to be done, but for whatever reason can't at the moment. And having that distinction already creates a massive shift in your mindset. Everything in your next action you can do right now. In your Sunday action, you can revise that within a couple of days. As in, what can I do right now? What can I do? So then you make the switch between those two. That's the third one. And then the fourth one is the maybe list. actually having a list of actions that you could be doing, but you don't actually need to be doing. So write down the action that you want to do, as in, let's experiment with ChatGPT because it's fun. But actually write it down, experiment with, or reading that document, or reading this. But you don't actually need to do that. But whenever you feel like, after an afternoon nap, a couple of hours, let me go through my maybe list and actually look through what can I do, what to do. And it will give you the room to actually play, and also having the distinction between this is truly what I have to do, this is what I'm picking. So that distinction. And the fifth one, which is also quite useful, is the waiting for list. Whenever I send an email towards other people, and I'm expecting a response for it, I'm actually writing it down in my waiting for list. Right now, my action is I'm waiting for the other person to respond. And that creates that I'm in control, and after a week of waiting for that person, and I haven't heard back from him yet, then I can text him back as in, hey, are you still interested in the deal, the interaction, the meeting, the whatever reason behind that. And it will make you streamline all of your thoughts. Because every action that you're taking is streamlined towards your purpose. What do you actually want to achieve? What do you actually want to do? So you won't be missing any, you won't do any double working. You'll actually increase your output and be more control plus the amount, basically.
This is amazing. Do you do one at a go, and what's the easiest to do it on the phone and just move stuff up to your list? Like, what's the easiest that we can just like start tomorrow? Like one per goal and one for the whole life.
Yeah, the first thing is I would say start with that brain dump, with creating a WhatsApp message. Brain dump, just empty your brain for a second, because a lot of people have massive, amazing ideas, but they don't really have the time to actually think about it. And just enjoy. Just after a week, just enjoy how quiet it is within your mind. Write stuff down and just having it there. And trusting that it will come in the future. So that's the first step. And practically, I would say start organizing your calendar with time bound. And within the calendar, you have the option within at least with Google. I'm not so familiar with Apple platforms. On the right side, you can add tasks and with different list names. Actually, write the title as in next action, Sunday action, maybe, and waiting for. And actually write it down there, including the date, the deadline that you're having, and also add the tagline that you want for connecting it towards the project. If you want to go further than that, then we'll come towards something like Notion, like Excel, like combining databases to structure your goal. But the first step is make it easy, streamline your ideas.
So like if you have a 2-hour task done with all these things, if you just copy it to the next day when you want to work on it and move things around, right? Like, or how, like if it's on your calendar, like how do you keep it on? Or it's not a part of the calendar?
It's not a part of the calendar. Because it's not a time bound
Oh, okay.
action.
Is that a class?
Is it
Are you
next
talking
week?
with class?
Well, I know like is it the tasks within Google Calendar?
Yeah.
Or is
The
it
class is a separate list, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't go into the calendar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, correct.
So it's tasks. So
Yeah.
it's not.
So you're not creating a time block, but
Yeah.
only time bound when you really have to do them.
So you create, if you need like time bound, you create time bound for other 4 areas you actually create tasks.
Yeah,
And
correct.
that app is called.
That's a list. That's also a function within Google Calendar,
Oh, in Google Calendar.
but it's within the Google platform. It's called Tasks.
Okay. I use iCal.
Yeah. And within iCal they also have, I think it's called Tasks as well.
Because I have reminders suck. They just disappear.
But if you use it on the notebook, tasks side, and you don't have enough out. On the phone, it's a bit too difficult, I think, because we have to change the app.
Yeah.
But on the notebook, it looks beautiful the other ones.
And what if we build actually a system that you can fully trust?
How to?
Well, starting with that brain dump. With that brain dump, with that what's happening.
Yeah.
That's actually the first one, and then focus yourself on the method. Actually, every interaction goes into one of those 5. If it is an action, it will go in one of those 5. Every
I
time.
use the calendar, just the calendar is my brain dump.
True.
That's the efforts.
And it's feeling overwhelming, because it's not really having a method behind all of this. And having that is,
Notebook is a computer. When you said notebook, it's a computer or it's a notebook?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. That's why it's. I haven't got a desktop anymore.
Oh, so notebook.
It's not an app. It's normal.
It's a digital.
I'm sorry. It's a
computer.
computer.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can dive a little bit deeper into the software programs specifically, but then we'll get into a notion going deeper. You can actually do that, it's no problem, but it's better to actually have a workshop afterwards. What I'm doing right now is each week on Tuesday I'm going to give a workshop regarding mega tasks, how to type faster, how to learn faster, how to remember more. We're going to go a little bit deeper into how to organize your calendar, how to organize your tasks. I'm going to do that. I'm going to give already giving one workshop a week for free. And the 15th of August we're going to start with the 3-month course, with actually going through all of these actions with action management, information management, and insight management, and then adding upon these little details as in actually going deeper on it. Actually make you in full control of it. So if you're interested, I have my link tree afterwards, then you can follow and then sign up for the workshop to have a free possibility and see some options. Are there any questions that we to address? Okay.
You say with the brain dump, you start your brain dumping, and then in 1 week we'll have everything in the brain dump and everything will be clear.
Well, not
But that
everything will be
doesn't-
clear, but
It doesn't add up for me because there's like every day there's new stuff coming in, there's new stuff coming in, new stuff coming in, new stuff coming in, like it's never stopping.
yeah,
It doesn't stop.
I'm feeling it now as well within my life.
Yeah, not just with Mindvalley, but with life in general.
Sure.
We go, like,
And sometimes we kind of need to slow down to speed up. Actually think about what kind of value am I having right now in my life? What kind of meals am I having? It will take you a week to actually go through your meals. If I'm saying, if I'm thinking correctly, everyone has like 600 unread meals. Well, 6,000.
That's much more.
8,000!
But imagine the stress that it gives you. That feeling so overwhelmed that you're not really hearing, you're always thinking, there will be a next thing. Actually feeling it in your core. And being in control, especially now with the amazing value that we're receiving with AI, actually organizing your thoughts, organizing your ideas, organizing your actions. I'll come back to this one. Because another thing is, within action management, you can actually increase the level of speed you can go through your actions. If you have time set out for an hour to do your booking agenda, I don't know. It's kind of limiting mentally, as in, okay, every week it is 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, and it keeps costing you 1 hour. But if you have a list of actions that you can need to do, you can be fully present, you can think, how can I make this faster? What kind of tool is there out there to make this within half an hour, or 10 minutes, or 5 minutes, fully automated? And then that mental switch towards action management will massively change your mindset. It will make you free mentally.
So, is there any way how to automate brain dump so that information automatically gets categorized and sorted in specific areas for example, if you met a new person that is interesting, you can say that person, maybe you put in a picture, whatever, and then information, and then it gets sorted automatically to other people that you have like a network, and those people are connected or whatever. So what's like the best way to automatically connect different aspects of information?
That's a very good business case. I'm serious, that's a very good business case.
Yes.
Because the thing is, we will go towards that. Right now, I'm recording myself and automatically transcribing that. And when we'll be able to use API to use the AI to actually transcribe, or at least interpret that piece of information and automatically adding that towards your Google Calendar, including the picture, including the value, including the timestamp, the location, it will be possible. We're actually building, so instead of, one of my ideas is, Google, for example, is now building software that all of us are using, or Apple, it's basically from the top down. But what if we can actually create our own system, our own network, and create your own automated life in such a way from bottom up, if that makes sense. So because everyone has their own preferences, their own ideas, their own stuff that they kind of want to capture. But how to do that is to actually be in control over that process, kind of knowing how information gets processed, and actually building your own system from the ground up. Then you'll become in that level, within that. So first start with Notion, connecting that with Para, integrating that with AI, and going forward. We are going towards that way. I'm seeing, especially now within the AI communication, we're going towards the next level. Everything will be automated, so that we can be fully here in the present, right here, right now. We can fully enjoy life. There isn't really a risk if we don't choose it to be scared of it. We'll be amazing. And I'm kind of leaning into that part of, that's basically what I'm doing right now, is automating AI for myself. But the thing is, when I'm talking to people, they haven't really thought about knowledge, how to deal with it, and they feel so much overwhelmed that I'm kind of leaning into first teaching other people this system, this mindset, this understanding. So everyone has so much value to give within their life, within their ideas. And that's basically capitalizing that.
Which app do you use for recording and transcribing your
Can you repeat the question? It's a little hard to
what kind of app do I use to transcribe and to record my stuff? Different kind of options. Sometimes use Otter.
Otter is only good for English. And then, well, yeah, this not your mother tongue and mine as well.
Exactly.
It's
So that's why the solution will never be software. The solution will be mindset. What do you actually want to achieve with recording something? Because the information itself isn't that valuable. What do you want to achieve within it? Normally, I voice record myself without any transcript, and I later on do it myself. Hello. Because sometimes I'm having a revelation, an idea of, I'm very passionate about something, I heard something, and then the power in my voice, I need to hear my power in my voice. And that will, when I'm revising that, when I'm typing that out, I can actually go into multiple levels as in why am I so enthusiastic about this? Why am I doing that? So I'm creating more storylines and more possibilities within that. The observer effect. Quantum physics, observer effect. I'm seeing myself moving. We have 5 minutes remaining. So one of the main tips is using the brain now to actually create something. You can do that for your co-workers, for example, as well. As in, with a team, actually create the brain up with all of them. And actually, whenever someone has an idea, to put it on there, don't discuss it in that location. Discuss it later in your weekly meeting. to actually collect random ideas within that subject. That's what I'm doing now with my business partner. Actually, whenever I spoke with someone, it's like, okay, write that person an offer regarding AIM. The company name will become AIM, action information insight management, with the goal of actually aiming up with every piece of potential within the human brain. So that's a little bit.
So only two priorities. First breakdown, second organize it kind of.
Yeah. That's the starting point, and other than that, I would say I'll share the QR code and you can join the link tree. And I'm giving information there also about what kind of action management we're getting things done, described, join me in the workshop, or actually signing up for the waiting list for the course. Because there will be a lot of processing information. So don't go too quick. First understand the method and slow down the speed. I'll show it with a mobile phone. That's it. Thank you very much for your time.